So what we saw in the last section was that we had this fundamental counting principle, and that was when we would take the number of events in each of the simple events. So if we had a compound event, we could take the number of each of the events in that compound event and multiply those outcomes, and that would give us the total outcome. And that's what we'll see in this situation. I'll go ahead and draw it one more time for you, so that you can see it. And here, if you flip a penny and toss a number cube and then flip a quarter, how many outcomes are there? So again, you've got the quarter, and then you've got the penny, and then you've got the number cube or the die. And so we've got the different outcomes of a head or a tail. We've got a head or a tail, and we've got all the different numbers of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And so you've got to start with the head, and then the head, and then the 1, and then the head, and the 2. And you got to keep on going. And then you got to do the tail, the head, and the 1, and so on, and keep on going through all of them. So here there are 2 different possible outcomes. So these are the number of outcomes here. And here there are 2 outcomes. Here there are 6 different outcomes. So if you just multiply all these numbers together, 2 times 2 times 6, that gives us all the outcomes that we end up having, 24. And I can show it another way by just drawing a little chart. See, if I draw the chart and I've got the coins here, and we've got a penny that's a head, we've got a penny that's a tail, we've got a quarter that's a head, we've got a quarter that's a tail, and then the number of outcomes this way, where you've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You've got 4 outcomes here, 6 outcomes here. That's going to be 6 times by 4 gives us the number of different outcomes. I'm drawing these little dots to show all those different outcomes. So instead of counting them all up, you could just multiply 6 times by 4, which would give us 24 outcomes. And so that's the fundamental counting principle, is when you just count up the number of outcomes for each simple event and then multiply those outcomes, it gives you your answer. You see the same thing here. Here they have 2 choices at this Chinese restaurant. You have choice A, or column A, and then you have column B. And then in column A, you choose 1 dish from 6 choices in column A. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then in column B, we only have 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And so you see, if you just count them all up, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then so on. You'd end up having to draw all these dots, and if you just multiplied the 2 numbers, you could get your answer. And so that's the fundamental counting principle, is instead of having to count up each of them, if you see you have 6 possibilities here, 5 possibilities here, 6 times by 5 gives us 30. So there's 30 different outcomes. 30 outcomes. Well, we can do the same sort of idea here. See, we have different types of clothing here. We've got a skirt. Lisa has a beige skirt, black skirt, and a denim skirt. And so we've got these different ones. We've got the beige, we've got the black, BL for black, and we've got the denim, D for denim. And then we've also got sweaters. So we have a sweater, and we've got 2 different colors. We've got a red and a white. And then we also have a blouse. And for the blouse, we've got a white, and we also have a blue, and it looks like we've got a green. So we've got 3 different outcomes here. So there's 3 outcomes here, 2 outcomes here, 3 outcomes here. To find out the total number of outcomes, you're just going to multiply all those numbers together. So that gives us 18. So 18 outcomes all together. Well, now we want to find out what is the probability of selecting a black skirt, a red sweater, and a white blouse. Notice we picked 1 of each. Well, there's only one way to get a black skirt, a red sweater, and a white blouse. And so that would be 1 out of 18. And that would be our answer. So the fundamental counting principle helps you come up with the total number of outcomes very fast using that. So try using that, and good luck on tonight's homework.